एटा होची ओसुक 2013 रो एनुअल कन्वेंशन बहुत लोक ये अच्छा जो मैंने 30 वर्ष 40 वर्ष हम आसिक ए देश सेटल कर दे हाव समथिंग टू शेयर आपण मान हूँ तो किसी क्वेश्चन थाए जानवा के से केमती चलुँच केमती रोच थॉट प्रोसेस कौन सो आसतु ये विल स्पेंड सम टाइम बुझापी जे ओडिशा छाड़ी जो लोक मैंने आसिक रही विदेश में पर्टिकुलरली यूनाइटेड किंगडम रे से वर्षक थे दे ट्राई टू मीट अप एंड लोक मान आसी सांगसाथी मान सागे एकाठी होकर गपसप करके 2 दिन बिताती ताले केमती कौन सब से करती दिन केमती बीते आउ से बैकग्राउंड रे आम जानवा चेष्टा करिबा जे तांको लाइफ रे कौन कौन सब चेंजेस होती और से केमती एठी चलुछंती। Dr. Vishnu Raut, President of OSUK Committee 2013.
Odisha Society of UK is 33 years ago it started. It started in a very modest way in Leeds. The organizer was Dr. Padmalochan Panigrai. He basically phoned everybody. Can't believe it's already 33 years ago. I was driving from Scotland to Leeds. That's just to see our friends in Odisha.
So basically, प्रथमे डाक्टर माने करथिले and then in due course other specialty लोक माने भी आसी सब ओडिया माने आसी
I feel we still think that we are very close to Odisha. I don't know how much our children think, but we were taking them every year to Odisha, so they know their roots are there, and depends upon the parents.
Absolutely, ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ଏଗ୍ରି କରିବି एंड जो मेन जिस आप ओडिया मैंने जा इंडिया अन्य पार्ट भी अच्छा दिल्ली रोचे साउथ इंडिया रोचे से सब अन्य जगह भी अच्छा से ट्रू सेन्स देखा गले ओडिया है ओडिशा नहांती आम भी ये ओडिशा ना से डज इट मैटर रियली आपको आप दिल्ली अच्छा कि हैदराबाद में अच्छा कि एठी यूके रे अच्छा इन टर्म्स ऑफ बीइंग ए ओडिया आपन से सेन्सटा केमती आपन निज परसीव करते?
I think we are like here a bit, it's very close knit community, and I'm sure they must be having similar feeling in India, but here because we are a bit far away, I think we are more close.
लंडन रथ यात्रा होची रज पूजा पूर्वा होची सब उस माने सेलिब्रेट करछंती एंड इन स्मॉल गैदरिंग एवरीवेयर इन यूके किछ ना किछ चलीची आपण दिस नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ कमिटमेंट ईयर बाय ईयर आपण आछंती सो व्हाट इज इट आपण ए जो मीटिंग होची अगस्त बैंक हॉलिडे रे व्हाट इज इट दैट अट्रैक्ट्स यू टू दिस मीटिंग?
I make sure that I am not on holiday or abroad during this time of the year. See the mixing with all your old friends and all the other friends from Odisha, that gives you lots of pleasure. 2 days you are caught up from this country as if you are living in Odisha.
Exactly.
So that kind of feeling you won't go if you are going to Spain for a week, or you can relax there. But this is you meet your close friends and as well as other friends, even your friends' children, and you catch up with your own community. It gives a different kind of feeling.
As parents आम दायित्व हो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को बेस्ट पॉसिबल फैसिलिटी एंड एजुकेशन दबा ये कथा आपण एटा ओडिसा रे जो माने हम दर्शक माने देखुथिबे हम फ्रेंड्स फैमिली माने देखुथिबे तांको प्रति आपण कोन इन्फॉर्मेशन जदी पचारिबे गोटे ब्लंट वर्ड रे जे आपण कोन सतरे ओडिया हे कि अछंती हेबे ना आपण चेंज हे छंती आपण तांको कोन उत्तर देबे
आमे मोटे चेंज हे न आमे स्टिल very close to Odisha. Our heart is always in Odisha, and we are proud to stay Odia. That's the reason we want this convention every year, and we also encourage other people from Odisha or any ties with Odisha to come and attend.
सर गोटे जिन पचारती ओडिशा रे मो सांग रिलेटिव माने जे आपन तो ओडिया गले यूके गले बहुत पैसा कमेले निजर सब फैमिली सेटल कले आपन ओडिशा पे कोन कले तो ताको तार उत्तर रे यदि आपन को पचारला जे आमे आज ओडिशा जे ग्रुप इस ग्रुपटा आमे ओडिशा ले कोन करचे आम प्रेसिडेंट हिसाब आपन कोन करबे
आमे एठी रही कि ओडिशा पाइन जदि चैरिटी किछ करि परलो हमारी खुशी हो आमे सदा बेले चाहूँ जे किछि आमे ओडिशा रे चैरिटी काम करू सेटा आमे भी जाई कि आमे चीफ मिनिस्टर को कहिछु आमे सेतरे इन्वॉल्व हो को चाहूँ in any way, in a small way, bigger way.
I think time has come. Odisha society, America, jete established achi. Even Odisha society, UK is also what a force in itself has come up, and with lot of intellectual people and lot of people in a good position to do something and reflect back to Odisha. Se has sujog botan uta asuchi.
Na, ama organization both members achanti. They are really committed. They are keen to do something for Odisha. We are looking for some opportunities to help some charity organizations in Odisha. I also invite any NGO or good, even a registered charity over there to come and work with us. We are always keen to do some charity work in Odisha.
मो 1977 मसीह ये देश को आसली मो आगु दिल्ली रे काम करी सब बड़े माने कटक पढ़ुली इच्छा था आम बाहर को जावा फॉर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट एजुकेशन जो चांस मिलला मो 1977 देश को आसली माय वाइफ जॉइंड मी अबाउट 6 months आफ्टर आमे 1977 आज पर्यंत ये देश अच्छु मुझे एनेस्थेसिया ट्रेनिंग आरंभ कली तापर मैं रजिस्ट्रार रही एंड 1992 ये देश कंसल्टेंट हली आमर 4 पिला एंड से मैंने जन्म होती समस्ते ये स्कूल कले मो बड़ झील से डाक्तर है बर्तमान एनेस्थेसिया रजिस्ट्रार अच्छी आ गोटे झील से ओडिशा रे बाहा है कि से बर्तमान रोच कायरो रे रोच एंड शी इज ए प्रोफेशनल रनर शी हैज डन लॉट्स ऑफ मैराथन्स
and dancer
and she is a dancer, she is a
computer
and more out of से लंडन फाइनेंस रे चाकरी करछि आम गोटे पुओ अच्छी जे कि 20 वर्षर से बर्तमान इकोनॉमिक्स रे डिग्री करछि से माने समस्ते घरे ओडिया कहती माने ओडिया पढ़ी पारिबेनी किंतु ओडिया कहती से माने रेगुलरली ओडिशा जानती and they are mixed with their family, our relations, and we are amaro Odisha सहित संपर्क माने 36 वर्ष ला आम देश को आसिलु किंतु ओडिशा संपर्क अतुट
बर्तमान आपण लुक बैक करछन मैडम माने एतो इनिशियल डेज रे आपण आस्थिले 70s रो यूके बर्तमान रो यूके
कंप्लीट चेंज
आपण इनिशियल डेज बहुत स्ट्रगल करे पड़थि बर्तमान जेते आपण भाउचंती माने आपण पिला मन को आपण देखचंती आपण लागछि हां आपण जो ओडियापन जो अछि सेटा आपण ताको पासन करि परचंती ना डज इट रियली मैटर ना आपण कर व्यू कोन से विषय रे
आस्ते आस्ते से माने देश रहिले से आस्ते आस्ते माने ओडिशा सहित संपर्क कमी गले तांकर जो पिला माने हेबे से मानक सहित से मानकर ओडिशा संगे संपर्क बहुत कमी जो
I think so.
And does agents अपन जे अपन नाती माने हो तो नाती ये नातुरी माने से माने हो तो ओडिशा रे सहित कांटेक्ट एते न हे पारे does that bother you अपन सेटा दस्ता लागे जे काहे कि और how do you view this माने
No,
I don't think so.
We won't bother. I don't think it matters anymore.
No.
We are all becoming global citizens.
If they are happy where they are.
Out question सेठी का लोक माने ओडिसा लोक मा करो तो पछे परंती जे आपण घरे रोसई करंती ओडिया आपण माने घरे जो
हां ओडिया खाद्य करे एकदम काहे कि ना हम हस्बैंड ओडिया खाद्य बहुत भल पाती सो सब दिन प्राय ओडिसा I mean children they don't माने children means my son doesn't like odia food but he likes odia food every day I make odia food
exactly so I say I'm more or less you can सब fruit सब खाइबे जिंस भी मिलु छी प्राय और सब इंडिया में से टिपिकल जिंस और मुठी भी मु पाउची चुड़ा भी मु पाउची and vegetables सब भी हमको मिलु छी माछ भी फ्रेश मिलु छी तनु बेसे गैप टा जोटा कि लोक 80s 90s आपण तो इनिशियली आस्थिले जहा फील करथि
ना आगरु मिलु नथला किछि बहुत even Indian shop you know Poli in London Manchester and ये सब जगह रे नथिला so बर्तमान everywhere you see Indian
माने धीरे धीरे एटा कॉस्मोपॉलिटन हे चलछि या जो ब्रिज जो गैप टा थिला सेटा कमी कमी चलछि पान कोठी खाते और डेटा में कथा हुआ ना पान तो मैं खाई खाई बुढ़ा तो कथा होचे कि यूके रे भी पान भंगा होची और किया होची we have got 4 senior members of OSOP who have seen it all grow through the years.
Mona Ramakant Jana, general practitioner at GP. 1973 re, mu Odisha chhadi England ko asili. Mu bartan general practitioner hai ki mu 40 varsh more complete hai.
Mona Pundrapati mu asili 1960s asili by 66 bargu. The hospital really 5 years ago, then I did my MRCP. Because things were very difficult to get any consultant job. Then hospital general practice misili. Misili 10 years retire doing some part-time work now.
My name is Ramesh Rautre. मु 1975 रे इंग्लैंड आसिली आगु मु कटक रे टीचिंग डिपार्टमेंट रे मेडिकल स्कूल रे टीचर थी ब्लैकबर्न रे जनरल प्रैक्टिस अच्छी किसी भी मानचेस्टर यूनिवर्सिटी मेडिकल स्कूल टीचिंग दौचे अभी एग्जामिनर भी अच्छी
मो ना हूँ डॉक्टर सहदेव स्वाई मु ल्यूटन रे जीपी अच्छी मु जीपी ट्रेनिंग दिए आउ फैमिली प्लानिंग एसोसिएशन रिकॉग्नाइज्ड टीचर फैमिली प्लानिंग ट्रेनिंग दिए आउ अन्य मन पर मोर यूसीएल आउ कैम्ब्रिज मेडिकल स्टूडेंट मान भी पढ़ाए
So अपन देखते ओडिसा डॉक्टर माने आसिकी 1960s रू 70s रू देन 1990s रू आसिकी अछंती एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन देयर फील्ड एंड अपन माने सेही समय तो आस्थिले आपनकर इनिशियल चैलेंजेस के कोनथला जो यूके रे आसिकी निजर वर्क प्लेस रे जॉइन करिया आल्सो घर फ्रंट रे आ पिलावन को बड़ करिवार से विषय किछटा कहंतु
चाकरी इट वाज अ स्ट्रगल दैट टाइम गोटे चाकरी सरी 6 मास रे आगु चाकरी पाया पई बहुत कष्ट होतला हेतोळे then we a lot of interviews to travel a lot of different areas. Then you will probably unemployed for some time.
बहुत प्रकार प्रॉब्लम खाली 6 मास रे जॉब चेंज हो नहीं सेते बेले बहुत कम ओडिया लोक हमर एठी जनरल प्रैक्टिस जॉब पाउथले मु जेते बेले आसिली मो पूर्वरु मात्र 6 जण ओडिया डॉक्टर आस्थिले 6 जण रो डॉक्टर पति होसंती जड़े आ अन्य माने भी पर्यंत अच्छे ता छड़ा पुणी आम फैमिली की मेंटेन करने आमको जॉब करने पाठ ट्रेनिंग भी नापी हम से समय बहुत डिफिकल्ट वर्तमान भी डिफिकल्ट अच्छी किंतु से आम मैंने बहुत कष्ट सही यही सब ट्रेनिंग कंप्लीट कर
ओवर द इयर्स अपन कांस्टेंटली ओडिसा संगे टच रे रहिछंती अपन कांस्टेंटली ओडिसा जाउछंती एंड सो अपन एबे भी जानिछंती भुवनेश्वर रे आज 2013 रे कोन होउची तो ए जो सेतेबेले जिबा केते सुविधा थिला और वर्तमान जिबा केते सुविधा इन टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड अफोर्डेबिलिटी अपन केमती फील करछंती
ए ट्रांसपोर्ट अफोर्डेबिलिटी तो बहुत भलो ही जाई एक्चुअली तो वर्तमान ओडिसा जिबा पई किबा सिटी जाई करी पहुंची बंधु मान को निज रिलेशन मान को देखिया पई कि बहुत सुविधा है जी आगो अपेक्षा एक्चुअली बर्तन प्लेन फेयर आगो अपेक्षा 1975 अपेक्षा बर्तन प्लेन फेयर चीपर है कंपैरेटिवली आज यू आर मोर एक्चुअली सो obviously it is much cheaper but as Dr. Jana Dr. Pati कहले 81 रे तो मो न्यू जॉब रे जो ब्लैकबर्न रे जॉइन कली गोटे जॉब पे 250 एप्लीकेंट्स थे एंड दैट इज ट्रू से तो बहुत सिंगल हैंडेड डॉक्टर थे 250 एप्लीकेंट्स से माने से एफपीसी कोतले से बड़े से माने 6 जन एप्लीकेंट को शॉर्ट लिस्ट कले तो मु पाइथली ता ऊपर पुनी लोग सब केस आला ता ऊपर because some people didn't get it actually and the case went to the Secretary of State. Eventually I was given the job. So it was a lot of competition and you have to be prove yourself to be the best. Otherwise it's very difficult to get actually. So, but things are much better now going to Odisha, going to different parts of the country.
So the professional life से सब चलता है then घरोटार भी home front रे तो another situation on a day-to-day basis you in terms of ओडिया खाइबा ओडिया और इंडियन खाइबा जिनस तार accessibility ये सब जिनस अपन केमती initial days रे केमती manage करते हैं
तो ओडिशा रेस्टोरेंट ओडिशा वन इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट तो गोटे हार्डली इवन इंडियन ग्रोसरी दुकान भी बहुत कम थिला एक्चुअली जदि गोटे बड़ सिटी में हम गलो गोटे इंडियन ग्रोसरी किन करी आनी 6 मास वर्ष रुपए किन के आनको लेखले आ भी सिनेमा भी हिंदी मूवी एक्चुअली भी देखिया पहले जब वीडियो डीवीडी नथेला गोटे केतो सिनेमा देखिया गले से चिट्री गले गोटे कुछ सिनेमा देखियो एक्चुअली facilities were much less that time actually बर्तन इंप्रूवमेंट बहुत है जी
अपन दर्शक भाई बर्तन जानते जे हम एबे चेन्नई एक्सप्रेस जो न यूके रे इंडिया रिलीज ला से न एठी यूके रे रिलीज हला एंड हम जानते बर्तन ऑलमोस्ट सब शहर रे सब विलेज रे हम इंडियन शॉप एंड इंडियन करी हाउस इज नाउ क्वाइट फेमस तो अपन देखते बे केते चेंज हिए जिंस ओवर द सिचुएशन
अपन को एवरी कॉर्नर तो तनी जाने
एब्सोल्युटली
एक्चुअली मु कोई भी जोगाजोग आजकल बहुत बेसी है हमें जेतरा 1995 रे सेतले गोटे मिनिट कथा पई गोटे पाउंड लागुतला एबे गोटे पी भी लागुची बेले बेले फ्री भी लागुची एबे मो मा बरहमपुर रे बससी से लैपटॉप रे बसी के हम स्काइप रे कथा है पर तापर फेसबुक इत्यादि हला पर मोर भणजा गोटे अछि हैदराबाद रे आउ सडू अछंती अमेरिका रे से तांको भितर कथावार्ता बाकू मैं जानि पारछ कि निज घर खबर अगर चिट्ठी आसिले जणा पडुतिला एबे आराम रे आपण
एग्जैक्टली आपण बडे एस्पेक्ट टच कले कम्युनिकेशन न आगु जते हां costly and affordability thila but it has become so accessible and phone mobile phone ne sange sange up to date dei hochi jinsa ta
kali mone karantu mo bhanaja jaichi dhabeleshwar mandir dekhiya ko aji Facebook re ta photo apana dekhi parchandi
gote jinsa mo sang mane jo relative mane pachanti je amane सब आसिकी आम देश हमको ट्रेन कला हमको कैरियर MBBS तला हम तापर आसिकी निज पे एठी कैरियर कले जे आमने किसी ताकू हाउ वी गिवन समथिंग बैक आमे किसी वापस देचे कि ओडिसा को आई एम टॉकिंग टू पीपल हियर आई गेट समस्त किछि किछि निज बाटरे सब करचंती आपण इस फोकस करबे आपण माने सब निज बाटरे कोन सब पॉसिबल हेछि टू गिव बैक टू ओडिसा
वी नीड अ लॉट ऑफ हेल्प फ्रॉम द लोकल पीपल फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट and somebody to help us organize. Yes. There are many doctors now in Odisha, many private companies. Odisha's health situation has improved. As Dr. Rautra said, there is a calling hospital. So we would like to do our service and गोटाए प्रॉब्लम होचे सेठी जनरल प्रैक्टिशनर जोटे कि आमे मोर हमर जीवन एवं जीविका से जिनसटा बहुत कम ओडिसा रे इंडिया रे बहुत जगह रे अछि जो माने कि प्रथमे रोगी जाय कि आगो तांकर जनरल प्रैक्टिशनर पाखरे ही पहुंचते ता परे स्पेशलिस्ट से जिनसटा ओडिसा रे अभाव आ डॉक्टर स्वाई के सहित मो से कथा बात करथि त जो कोनोसी प्रकार मोर हमर इच्छा अछि जे सेठी गोटे जनरल प्रैक्टिस को इंट्रोड्यूस जदि करा जाए बहुत लोक माने उपकृत हेबे एवं एटा गोटे नुवा जिंस बोली हम मानकर भी गर्व बा हम गोटे नुवा जिंस सेटा मोर इच्छा अछि mo सेते पे हम चाहू सरकार कर बा लोकल डॉक्टर मान कर कोऑपरेशन एवं सही होता है
डेफिनेटली सर बहुत भलो प्रपोजल आउट जिंस सर आसे मन को लोक माने भावंत जे आमे जो ओडिया केते ही कि रहिचे तरे बाहर को जगले ओडिसा छाड़ की गले इंडिया छाड़ की गले घरे आपण एते माने कोन आपण ओडिया खाउचंती कोन आपण जगन्नाथ को पूजा करूचंती कोन आपण रोसी करूचंती ओडिया रे कथा होचंती कि नाही मोर भौणी भाई अन्य माने सब मते विवरण पचांती तो जे आसे विषय आपण कहबे ओवर द इयर्स डिकेड्स नाउ आपण घरे केमति से ओडिया नेस्टा केमति कंटिन्यू करछंती
हमर जो रूट मनीष सबले तांका जो रूट सहित जोड़िया को इच्छा रखे सेटा नेचुरल आपनकर नेचुरल टेंडेंसी सेटा से दृष्टि मु भाबुची आपण समस्त जो माने ओडिसा बाहर रहउचंदी से माने प्रथमे प्रभाव बोधे सबटु बेसी भलो ओडिया लोक कहंती नै आपण जाउचंदी कोन जे सुनिया को जाउची कथा सुनिया जाउची सेठी बसी से घर संसार कथा चिंता करची किंतु चोर चोरी करिया जाउची किंतु कथा विषय भगवान विषय चिंता करची सेही प्रकार सबले मन हमर ओडिसा विषय सबले मन रे अछि
आपण जेतले कहले से ओडिसा कथा मु तो 81 रे आसली प्रथम लागन को गोटे मेडिकल मीटिंग रे बसथिले सेठी बहुत नॉर्थ इंडियन डॉक्टर बसथिले से ओडिसा स्टेट ता जानि नथिले कोन इट्स ट्रू एक्चुअली से जानि नथिले ओडिसा कोन से जानि नथिले So I had to train them and teach them actually what Odisha is and what facilities are there and everything. Puri Jagannath Dham, Bhubaneswar city of temples and everything. I told them. But when George Tharinanti, but when I made them travel to Bhubaneswar 3 times, Puri 3 times actually. So they say it's so nice and whatever we pay 15,000 rupees in a Bombay Delhi hotel, we pay 5,000 rupees there. Food is very cheap, people are very nice and the sea beach is beautiful actually. So one person visited once. They have visited now 3 times. So that is something I have contributed.
ସେମାନେ ପଚାରନ୍ତି ଯେ ପୋଟଳ ମିଳେ କି ନାହିଁ ଶାଗ ମିଳେ କି ନାହିଁ କହିଲେ ସବୁ କିଛି ଏଠି ମିଳୁଛି
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଠି 40 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଥିଲି ସେତେବେଳେ କିଛି ମିଳୁନଥିଲା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେଠି ଏଠି ଆମର ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଯେତେ ନ ମିଳୁଛି ଆମର ଏଠି ବେଶୀ ମିଳୁଛି ସଜନା ଛୁଇଁ ମୁଁ ଏଠି କିଣୁଛି ଶାଗ ବି ମିଳୁଛି ଆଉ ସବୁ ପ୍ରକାର जते कांकड़ मिलुची पोटल सब बेले मिलुची
बॉडी
भी मिलुची तेणु आमे पूरा ओडिया खाद्य खाउछु एवं बराबर मु ओडिया खाद्य खाउछु तापर आउरी गुटे कथा होची 40 वर्ष भीतर आमे एठी जगन्नाथ रथ टाणुछु वर्तमान 3टा रथ लंडन रो मेन स्ट्रीट रे प्रति वर्ष आमे ओडिया माने जाई कि रथ टाणुछु हमर संस्कृति के आमे रखिबु आमर खाद्य भी रखियो खाद्य केबे आमे छाड़ी नै आ तेणु से दृष्टि बहुत एडवांस है जाई वर्तमान सब रकम खाद्य मिलुछि एवं आमने से खुशी
ओवरऑल अपन देख पाछंती आई थिंक कोठी मनुष्य रहे एटा मध्ये एते मैटर करे नि तार कर्म ही तार मैटर करे तो एठी हमें 4 जन सीनियर डॉक्टर ओवर 30 and 20 years of experience माने they have continued the Odia theme. चलता हाँ ये वीडियो क्लिप माने एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी दैट आल्सो
It's nice actually. How many activities we have in school
and from प्रथम थोड़ा इधर उत्सुक आश्चर्य मीटिंग so जो apprehension और जो expectation थिला and this time what you came across how does the reality matches the expectation or how does it feel?
Interesting.
Right. Okay.
It was great fun because we are seeing a lot of people we have not seen for ages. और देखना खुशी मत दो really enjoyed it. And it didn't seem that we have left them for so many years. Familiarity. It is a very big thing.
I mean, a lot of friends जो आपको अपना school time, college time में देखते हुए, you are seeing them again after 15-20 years, isn't it? 25 years.
कालिया है और तीनों फैमिली तो देखा ला जब हम 23 वर्ष से लगा देखी.
अच्छा हाँ.
I wish, I hope that they were as happy seeing me as I was seeing them.
No, that's it. I mean, so the most apart from the social culture like event that goes on, the other thing that happens is the background that chatting that happens in the free time, isn't it? That's the beauty of this convention like this. So आपण माने एथर जति आसे डिसाइड करले आसिया को तो आपण जहाँ एक्सपेक्ट करथले and compared to what you found ए पर्यंत केमती लागु छी आपन
This is what it was more than what I expected actually. And seeing so many people with whom you can actually relate because they come from the same.
मनाली आपण कौन कहबे माने आपण हां मूवी आसी के बहुत 4-5 वर्ष थिली ता परे ओनली आई केम टू नो दैट the forum exists, so there's no formal sort of that sort of declaration or anything. It's so mostly word of mouth and people get to know each other, and then once you're into it and then you just keep loving it and coming back again and again. So no, thank you for taking time. Thank you.
No ball dekhu da tapadu
Oh, sorry, you have been coming to Osuk now for how many years now?
All my life.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, right, because your father is a very keen person, very closely involved with this organization, and you kind of inherited that, I guess. When you were in your childhood days, when come August and you used to come in for this organization, for the meeting, what are your memories from that?
I think as a child, it was I mostly came here to have fun and play games and meet other Odia children.
Okay.
As I got older and became a teenager and now I'm working, I think coming here has expanded some of my networks and being able to talk to others, second generation Odias, and getting a sense of some of the issues that we all face growing up, whether it's at home and having arguments with our parents or thinking about when we go to Orissa and what we do there and our attachments to our grandparents who are still living there, or as we approach work and what we're doing in our work, because everyone's doing completely different things.
Right. So I mean, you have found this social network of this aspect of getting the cohesive group of Odia people. You have found it to be helpful.
Yes, it's really good because it's widened my horizons, and understanding of what else is also happening in Orissa is a very rich cultural place.
The other thing is, if you reflect back to the time when you were a teenager, a young adult, and that time you were going to Orissa, when you met your relatives and your other family members who are basically settled there, how was your interaction with them, and how did you feel having been born and brought up in UK and you're going back to interact with them? Any good memories, bad memories?
I have to say all my memories are good, and I go to India every year.
Lovely.
And especially to see my maternal grandparents who are still alive. And I also regularly go to visit my dad's village where he was born. So it's very important the role that Orissa plays in my life. I'm not a good Oriya because I don't speak Oriya very well. I can't read or write and I can't dance Odissi.
But this is interesting, isn't it? Does that, by not doing that, do you feel any less Oriya?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I have to say, I think compared to some of my parents made the extra effort in terms of showing us Orissa as well and other parts of India. So when we went there to see our grandparents, we made sure we never got bored. And there is loads to see in Orissa. We spent so much time in Bhubaneswar and Puri, Gopalpur. And also going to see the tribal areas. And
almost every year you have been able to go for the last 25-30 years and go and see. That's really amazing.
I
mean, when at workplace or when somebody mentions where are you from India, how do you feel about describing yourself as an Oriya?
I feel fine about it. I always say I'm from Orissa, which is a small state in the east coast of India. I often explain exactly geographically where it is, but I'm quite happy to say it.
Exactly. You don't feel any restraint, any sort of reservation about describing that, do you?
No.
No, absolutely. When it comes to food, I mean, is there any particular Orissa food that you've taken a liking?
Oh yes. So when I go home to visit my mum, I always ask her to make me dalma, aloo bharta, baiguna bharta.
Exactly. So, and those are the integral part of things. I mean, and so this is interesting. You see your father. You're born here, but your father has successfully inculcated that into your life for the last 30 years. And when you think of your life ahead and the next generation, how do you feel about that Oriya-ness, so-called Oriya-ness? How do you feel about passing that on to the next generation?
I hope I do a bit of it. I think it will get slightly diluted, obviously, but I think because of the influence my parents have had and their strong focus on Orissa and coming to events like this and also introducing me to their extended circle of friends. That's become really a part of my fabric, so I imagine I would try and translate it. I don't know what will happen after a couple of generations, but I think that happens.
Does it really matter? I mean, so that's it. I mean, so here is an example of you're born here, but you have imbibed that whole concept, and it's really nice to hear from you actually that you're able to go every year and you still kept up with the whole thing, and you have not been able to speak Orissa, but that Oriya that hasn't made you any less Oriya, in my opinion. I mean, it's really good. What is of everything that you do related to Orissa, what is the thing that make you feel this is what makes me what I am as an Oriya? If you have to pick up one thing.
I think there is a trait, particularly amongst all the Oriyas that I meet, is it's a social trait, and the social trait is being open and finding out about other cultures, and I think that's why we are more flexible and adaptable, and we try and deal with the situations that we face. We don't necessarily follow rules or particular cultural rules just because they have to be followed. We are willing to test them a little bit and adapt them, and I think that's a theme that I see
amongst all warriors. So I know it's strange.
No, but you've got it right. I mean, I guess that's what makes us what we are.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good, very good. So let's go and explore Odisha. That's the fun. Okay, right. Asuchi. See how beautifully she dances. Very sponsored. Now the cliché is coming. See how beautifully she can do it. And do not try this at home.
Hello, my name is Sankalpa Basu. Mo Sri Santana Thakur सहित प्रथम थर पे एटी आछि मो नानु जानि परथबे कि मो 100% ओडिया नो मो भुवनेश्वर बड़ होइछि मो बापा कटक रे बड़ होइछथि ताको बापा कटक रे बड़ होइछथि किंतु we have a heritage of being of a Bengali blood stream as well. ये जाओ मो न्यूकासल रे रुहे मो साइकियाट्रिस्ट जने मो स्त्री डेंटल सर्जन समस्त को देखी बहुत भल लगे विशेषकर मो सांग मैंने जो वर्ष वर्ष देख फास्ट थर पे देखली लगे कि हाँ ये जो पचरे ओडिया कथा होती हाँ मुझे घरे बस घर को बेसी दूर जाएनी
Also precisely I जानती but as Anjana mentioned career and struggle but बहुत भल लगला सीखी I wasn't expecting that it will be so nice and to mingle with and see a lot of friends. बहुत भल लगला and I will make it a point that we attend every year.
Very good. What Jagannath eats? Okay, he is a great Lord. The Lord Jagannath. He was the Lord of the universe. So that's like that he eats like the Lord of universe. This is called Chappan Bhav. 56 types of different delicacies made every day, being offered to. Yes, thank you. That is known as aboda. Okay, this is the rice eaten mostly as a prasad. Okay.
Could I just thank you. This is my Oscar moment. Okay, right. Okay. Can I just Prathamatha, I'm so relieved and so thankful to Silapa for taking up the next year's arranging the Osuk. I mean, she is a dab hand, she's a veteran on doing these things, so it will be in very safe hands for the next year. So thank you to her.
Your feedback to her.
I mean, she is the last person who needs any feedback from a novice like us to how to organize OSUK, so I'm not going to say that. But what I would like to say first, for the prospective OSUK organizers like myself, who are, I'm the disorganizer, she's the organizer. So, and so to have a framework of some sorts for people who are not in the sort of in-crowd in organizing things, to have some kind of, that would be really of help.
Next in this series of conversation is in getting a good group of youngsters. These are all young blood. Orissa Society UK question and Ankit and his gang. So I'll start off with Ankit is one of the.
I think we all feel very strongly against gang.
Right. Lovely. So, absolutely. So if we start off with just introducing yourself and how long you've been in UK, like just to give a flavor. So you've been Ankit, you've been in UK over
for about 16 years
now. Okay, 16 out of your 18 years, sort of thing. Yeah, and Abhishek, what about you?
18 years.
18 years, yes. You've been born in here in your...
No, I was born in India.
Okay, but yeah. And what about you? Sorry, I didn't get your first...
my name is Pravin.
Pravin, yeah.
I was born here.
Okay, and you?
I'm Pallavi and I was born here as well.
Lovely. And...
I've been here 5 years.
5 years. And what about you?
I've been here 5 years.
5 years as well. Okay. So basically, this is the Oasis Society UK function, and your parents would have told you that come, we are going to the OSUP meeting and this year. So how does it, when you hear that August Bank Holiday weekend and you are coming in here, it's like, oh, not again, another year, or yeah, yes, so another time we'll go and meet our friends. So what's the first normal response that comes to your mind?
I look forward to it.
Good, yeah.
It's all about staying in contact with everyone from Orissa, especially being in the UK, and speak Ori with our friends and promote Ori.
Speak Ori.
Yeah, it's good to see like long lost relatives and all that. And
Good,
I don't care about seeing these lads. I want to see him more often, so I only come to see him here. I'm here.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel? Do you feel like I notice every time you guys always perform something, you have to do a stage performance, and obviously getting slicker year by year, and obviously.
I'd say it's mostly our parents.
So that must be taking a lot of time.
I think it's more because every year, like everyone kind of performs, so it's. I guess you kind of at the start you're forced to come to these events, but I think it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Because we all have been quite regular in.
I don't think I look forward to it or particularly avoid it. It's just something that we do every year.
There's no like.
It almost becomes your calendar, your annual calendar. August Bank Holiday. It's time to go to us.
But I think it becomes more of a. Like everyone comes and just hangs out with their friends, you watch performances rather than looking at it from one point of view of being audio. But I think you just meet loads of people and they become your friends rather than trying to go, oh, it's audio get together type thing.
Right.
So you make loads of friends.
This audio award, what does it actually mean to you? I mean, in the big scheme of things.
We are, where we're
I think we are.
The east coast of India.
Lovely.
It's like when I say Orissa, everyone's like, where's that?
Yeah, that's the one thing is when you say you're Oriya,
no one actually knows where it is.
Yeah.
I like saying Calcutta.
Okay,
I just say Wheel of Ashoka and they're like, oh, Wheel of Ashoka, like the Shah Rukh Khan film.
It's not a known place, like
what?
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
Everyone does that.
And when you go back home and your parents, relatives, and they kind of say, okay, you don't talk Oriya or you do behave actually Oriya, and do you feel kind of pressurized that you have to live up to certain expectation that has been already set there?
Well, I think when you're like growing up, I think most of us all speak Oriya, like even a little bit too, like fluently, but it just becomes natural. It's never pressured like you have to know Oriya. I think it just becomes naturally like you end up learning it just to understand what other people are saying, and when your parents are always speaking it, you just pick up words. So it's nothing like the pressure like you have to know Oriya.
Right.
It's just you come to these events, everyone's speaking Oriya, you just kind of start learning it. It's more of a natural thing, not like you're forced to do it.
Right.
Yeah. It would be bad to speak Oriya because it shows that you're in touch with your roots.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, you guys are doing a tremendous job, I must say. I mean, of keeping up to things and actually making sure. And I think of 20 years ahead, and you have got a family and you have got kids. Does it bother you? Would they be? What it means is, would you be able to, whatever Oriyaness so-called you have gotten new, would you be able to kind of pass it on to them, or do you feel obliged to, or does it really matter? I mean,
I think you are, in a sense, you are obliged to do it, but at the same time, like we're all very different in personalities, so whether we continue it is another thing. But
well, if OSUP does carry on another 20 years. Then the only people who are going to be running it are us. So whatever, however the family, whatever happens, you know, I mean, I doubt we're all going to seek out Odia grooms and brides.
Except you.
You too, watch out.
Oh man.
No, but Yes, I mean, if this still happens, then we'll probably still be doing this, and then it's just another side to whatever you do pass on to your children. I don't think there's any. I don't think we should feel in any way sort of pressured to pass on. It's not our job to make everyone feel.
Exactly. I mean, the time you'll be living, I mean, the world would pretty much become a global village. And it doesn't really matter as long as you are able to do your job and your responsibility with utmost care. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I think it's more down to the fact will Osuk be there, because if Osuk is be there, I think like would naturally everyone would kind of go.
Yeah.
But it's just whether it will continue to happen, because it's changed a lot in the last 10 years that Osuk's been around. So, but us being the future generation, like, if it's still around, then yeah, we will all attend.
But it's really encouraging to know that you actually want this to continue. This is the 34th time.
It would be good if it did.
Of course, and we don't see any reason why it would certainly fall apart. I mean, definitely there will be always people to keep it going, and so no, that's really good. Odia thing, so speaking at home, Odia, how often you do that?
I think it's every day.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah. I don't really.
He does. I mean, when he goes.
My parents speak to me in Odia, I speak back to them in English.
And the other thing my family members often went relatives is that do you pray, do you sort of have faith in God and have that connection to the original land?
They're not related. You're
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, I agree with you. But
that's the famous of Puri Jagannath temple.
Yeah.
The faith is already the novice.
That more depends on your upbringing more than anything like.
Exactly.
So it's more like individually parents, like some parents are gonna be more religious than others, and whether kids kind of want to be like that or listen to their parents, it's more to do with the family individually rather than.
Now, I'm sure your parents won't read this, but do you feel kind of pressurized by parents that you have to do certain things that Odia is and that sort of thing?
Sometimes.
Not really.
There's only time to time where you feel like coming to like get-togethers. I think you're kind of slightly pushed to keep your roots, but it's not like you have to pray and you have to speak Odia, like you're not forced to do things.
Right, that way you feel pretty relaxed that way. Yeah, and how do you feel you're different from a 16 or 18-year-old who is born in Odisha and continuing to study in Odisha? What would you say is different from you? In what way you are different from?
I think everything. Like their lifestyle is completely different to ours. So I think most of us would agree when we go back, we do struggle a little bit in the sense of how they're brought up and how we're brought up. It's completely different.
That's it. We acknowledge the difference, but we know that it's a two different way of living your life, isn't it?
Neither is better.
Yeah, exactly. We are not.
Obviously, we are raised very differently than we would be if we were in Odisha. And I don't, just because it's different doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's
exactly.
It's just the way it is. So.
Yeah, I think we're comparing apple and oranges. They're not same. They're isn't. So yeah. No, I just want to thank you guys for coming in and sharing your views, and have a blast.
କଥା ହେଲା କ'ଣ ତୁମେ ଆଇଡ଼ିଆ ଗୁଡ଼ା ହେଇଛି ଜମା ହେଇ ରହିଛି ଗଜ ଗଜ ହେଉଛି ହଁ and they have been now to have not done it would have been a wasteful thing ଆଉ ଦେଖ କାମ ଭଲ ହଉ ଖରାପ ହଉ you have done it with your heart and then I think they are going to be good and next time we do it do something we'll do it better that's all